Hey friends, you're welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial will be on how to make this beautiful wrap top. As you can see it right on my body. And before we go right into it, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly do that now. Click on the subscribe button below and subscribe. Also turn on the notification bell so you get notified each time I upload a new video. Don't forget to give this video a giant thumbs up. Without further ado guys, let's go over to the work table. So guys, I have my fabric on fold. Can you see? So to determine the amount of fabric to fold, just get quarter of your bust measurement, the largest measurement of your body, because this will be like a crop top. So the largest part of the measurement I'm working with is the bust measurement. So quarter of that plus additional 3 inches. So I have my fabric on fold, as you can see. So for the wrap top, what we are going to be doing is to cut out the back bodice first. So I have my starting line right here, and from the starting line I ruled out my chest line, which is right here, and the length of the top, which is 18.5 inches right here. So I will insert the 3 inches 8 inches standard to get the shoulder slope. And I'll come down by 1 inch and connect it to the 3 inches point. Now I will insert half of the shoulder measurement I'm working with. The shoulder measurement is 15 inches. Half of that is 7.5. I will insert this right here. I will also insert it on the chest line. And connect. So don't forget, for your wrap top, you have to draft the back bodice first. Then, quarter of my bust measurement is 9.5 inches. And I'll get the midpoint from the shoulder slope to the chest line. Right here. And connect it. Then from my waist measurement, quarter of my waist measurement, that is your waist measurement divided by 4, is 7.5 inches. We also insert that right here. And connect it. Now you can decide to add that to your wrap top. It is optional, but I'll be adding that to mine, making use of my bust span, which is half of that is 4 inches. Then I'll take in ½ inch on both sides. Can you see? I will add whatever I have for my dart back to the measurement I have here. So ½ inch on both sides, that is 1 inch. Then 1 inch for the side seam allowance. And also for the bust area, I'll add 1 inch side seam allowance. And I will connect. Now going over to the neckline, I will take the neck width of 3 inches, since I have 3 inches right here, and the neck depth of 2 inches. You see that? And I will connect it using my armhole cuff. So for the upper part, I'll go up by ½ inch. That is for the shoulder allowance. Allowance to join both shoulders together. Now I will cut it out. So I will cut out the length and make sure I notch where my dart will be. So to cut out the front, make sure you have enough fabric, like 7 inches more than what you folded for the back bodice. So I have my fabric on fold here, and I have 7 inches more than what I folded for the back. And I also measure 7 inches. Can you see it? I have 7 inches all through and ruled a straight line. So I will just place the back on it in like manner, starting from that line, from the 7 inches line. I will place it on the line in like manner. And cut out the side and the armhole area to the shoulder. Now, can you see what I have? You will now determine the neckline you want, how deep you want your neckline to be. You can just do an average of 5 inches, but if you want it to be very deep into the cleavage area, then you can do 8 inches. But for this, I will make sure I do a neckline of 5 inches. For the one I put on in this video, I did 7 inches, so you can see how deep it is. But for this, I'll just make it 5 inches. So I'll be starting from this point. Can you see it? On this line, just mark the 5 inches and you connect it with your ruler to the shoulder tip here, to this point. Can you see that? You see where I connected it to? So from there, from the 5 inches neckline, I'll just connect it to the hem here. Just measure 3 inches above the hem. Can you see? About 3 or 4 inches. So I'll just make it 3 inches above the hem. And connect it in a curvy manner from the neck depth here, the 5 inches I came down by. Just connect it to the 3 inches point. Can you see that? And I will cut it out. So this is all we have. This is for the front and this is for the back. But for this tutorial, I'll be making the wrap top a sleeveless wrap top. Because it is a sleeveless, I'll just come in by 1 inch or 1.5 inches from the shoulder point here, from the armhole area. Since it is a sleeveless top, 1 inch. Can you see that? And connect it. So I'm cutting both the front and the back together now. So I cut both the front and the back together. Why I did that alteration is because I don't want the shoulder area to be popping out since it is a sleeveless top. Then this is all we have. Can you see? So this is the front bodice now. Let me notch the dart area for the front too. Can you see? So this is the back. Can you see what we have? And this is for the front bodice. So you will have 2 front bodies. Let me see what we have. Then this is the second part. You see. So if you want a deeper neckline, like I said, just make it 8 inches depth. So that is all we have for our wrap top. Then you get a long strip of fabric. For this, I made it 40 inches. So just between 40 inches to 45 inches is okay. 40 inches for the length, and for the width, I made it 5 inches. So that will be for the strip, the 2 strips on both sides that will be wrapped all around your body. So the first thing I will do now for the stitching is to take it to the sewing machine and take in the darts. I'll take in the darts for both the front and the back. I'll take in the darts. I will join the shoulders and come back to show you what needs to do. So guys, I already took in the darts, can you see, for both the front and the back, and I also joined both the back and the front at the shoulder. Can you see that? So the next thing I will do now is to take it back to the sewing machine and hem this part, that is from the front here to the neckline. Can you see? All through the back neckline and back to the front. So I'll just fold in 1/4 inch twice, once in this manner, then twice again, and hem it just neatly around. And also you have the option of taping this part with a bias strip, or you can get a long strip of the same fabric and use it to tape it all around. So after doing that, I will also fold in the armhole area, since it will be a sleeveless top. So I'll just do that. I'll make sure I fold it in all through, fold the front too, then I'll take in the sides. I'll take in the sides and also fold in the hem. Just 1 inch is okay. So I'll go and do that now. So guys, I already fold in the front area here towards the neckline. As you can see, I fold it in all through, and I also took in the sides. Now I added 1 inch side seam allowance, and I fold in the hem. So I took in 1 inch to fold the hem. So I just folded it 1/2 inch twice. So that is 1 inch. So this is what we have, and I gave it a very good press. So this is what we have for our wrap top, which is almost ready. Can you see it? So this is all we have. Now for the long strip of fabric that I measured as 5 inches width and about 40 to 45 inches length. It depends on how long you want your strip to be. That is the part that will be wrapped around your body. So I just folded it twice in like manner. Can you see it? Make sure you fold it first, like 1/2 inch in this manner. Fold it 1/2 inch in and fold it into 2. Then just take in 1/4 inch down. Make sure you don't close this end. Leave this part open. So stitch 1/4 inch all through to the end. Make sure you stitch 1/4 inch all through. By the time you get to the other end, make sure you close it. Close this end. So that is exactly what I did here. Can you see it? So this is the end that is closed, and this is the end that is open. So after doing that, I just gave it a very good press. So what I will do now is to fix this strip of fabric on one end of the wrap top. Can you see the front part? Just make sure you put it into the strip. Can you see? That is why I said you should not close one end. Just use a sharp object, or a pointed object rather, to push it in. Can you see? Just make sure it lays flat. Can you see that? So I'll just stitch on it. So when you are doing this, make sure you use a matching thread. So I'll just stitch on it in like manner. Can you see? Just to hold it down. Then I will go and stitch the other strip and fix it in like manner. The way I fix this, I will also fix it to this end. Then I will show you the final look on the mannequin. So guys, this is the final look of the wrap top. Can you see the long strip of fabric? So for the strip, by the time you stitch it with 1/4 inch on the wrong side, just turn it to the right side through the open end. You know, one end is closed. Just use a pointed object, any object, and use it to turn it through the open side before fixing it to the front itself, to the fabric itself. So this is the final look. And if you would prefer a sleeve like this, which is a bishop sleeve, I have a detailed tutorial on that too. Kindly check it out. The link to that video is in the description box below, so you can just make it exactly like this. So you just turn it, just take your wrap top, and you see, and wrap it all around you. You can do any style you want. You can take it this way or this way, any way you want it. Just turn it, wrap it around you. Can you see it? So it's more like a crop top. Can you see that? So just wrap it all through your back in like manner. Make sure it is firm. You see, and tie it up. So you can leave it like this, or better still, if you want it as a bow, you can just continue to make it into a bow. And you can make your strip of fabric not to be as long as this. It depends on what you want. So that is that on how to make a crop top. So guys, we've come to the end of today's tutorial. If this tutorial has been helpful, kindly give me a giant thumbs up. And if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please do that now. Click on the subscribe button and subscribe. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!